guys, welcome to another video from the People's Pond. Just thought I'd give you a little update of how I'm going with the pond, the Draco drum, and introduce you to the newest member of the People's Pond. So I added a little Adam Bayer Kahaku's in there with all his new friends. Still got cold. Temperatures dropping at night like a lot. Probably all over the country at the moment. Autumn is fully in at the moment. Leaves are starting to drop. Pond is catching a lot of these leaves, and that debris that comes off of the trees, off their bark, like it's catching a lot of that, and it floats on the surface. I haven't got a skimmer, so I have to net it out every day. The pump there, which goes to the Tempest, that's catching a lot of the leaves, so I turn that off, let them fly off and catch them. I haven't put a net on just because I'm gonna have to put covers on like soon. And I don't really want to block the view of the last few weeks I have. All of us, everyone's probably in the same boat that way. Draco drum is finally working as it should. Float switch has been connected, just need to sort that wire out, put it under those rocks. I've got like maybe a 6-inch drop. I'll probably try and lift that up as well a little bit, just to get it to most minimum amount of water loss. So I've got this pump. So I've been thinking for the last 1-2 days I'm going to add one onto that as well, connect them, like just put them there together, just if that ever fails, so then at least there's a float switch with that, because the float switch has already saved me once. Last week I think it was, when I fitted it, one day it was alright, the next day Draco drum, it let out a lot of water, but I only lost about 8 inches because of that float switch. So that is such a helpful thing, such an important thing, especially if you're pump fed, because if your pumps are in the pond, there's no way for you to stop that. Like, the water will just keep coming out. The float switches is a must for any pump fed system. I don't know how they work on gravity fed. If anyone has got a gravity fed system and they've got a float switch, let us all know in the comments. What else is there? Draco drum, the reason why it was going into fail-safe mode. Read the manual 2-3 times, spoke to Tony 2-3 times, and what we've come up with, well, not we, he told me was probably wrong, and I probably just made sure that everything was correct in that way, was that the flow was too high. So I've got a 20,000 barrel pump there, and that normally when it was just on the Nexus was set at about 65-70%, and with the Nexus that was running fine. Dwell time was a bit right, because like it's going up to the Nexus. Head height is about 2 meters, so about 1.5 meters, and it's like a 6 meter length to get to the Nexus. Hence why I put it, just because of flow loss. But the Draco drum at the beginning couldn't cope with 70%. As the pond already had debris in there. So in the beginning, the pond was just playing catch up. The drum is playing catch up, sorry. And so as your system gets cleaner and cleaner, it has less work to do. So in that way, you're alright. And you've got a little jumper. I've got a fish to show you. Yeah, let me show you that fish first before it jumps out. Then we can talk about the drum after. Say hello to my big Chag. Look at that. That is nearly 70 centimeters. Amazing creature. It had also, you see that there was a little, it had a bump there. So I've quarantined these koi, quarantined it. I scraped it, it was clean. It had a bump here, like not a bump, like a redness. And I was worried there was parasites, because this fish, I bought it, and the day when we got it, there was a lot of traffic on the motorway. There was roadworks going on, so it took me longer than expected. Normally it would have been about 35 minutes from where I got it, so it took me about an hour, and I had it in the bag with less air. So I don't know if that played a role, but we got it home, we got it safe, quarantined it, scraped it, and it had a bump here. Yeah, and then what I'll do now, I'll put a picture of what it was like. So you see from the picture, there was a mark there, and that is the power of the heat. The heat had it up to 18, and it literally healed the fish. And there's let me see if I can show you. There's a bump, not a bump, like a, what do you call it? Like a scab on the face, near the mouth, and that has healed as well. And that's the power of heating. This, it was fully healed, but since when I had my water loss, this biggest fish, it was on its side. It's so huge, like, and there wasn't enough water for it. So this one took the brunt of it, literally. The rest were all alright. This is a female, I think. No, it's a male. It's a male. And it's got a little mark there as well. Yeah, so I ain't got no sedation, so I can't really do anything today. I've ordered it. It hasn't come in from Chagoi. Let me see if I can show you this now. Come on. Like, it's got a little like scab on its there. That here there. And that's whoa boy. Calm down. Come on, man, you're filming. Alright, let me give you a little look at it. There it is. And I think the bowls, that's why I had a meter bowl. It's just for this fish. I'm gonna try and get this fish back in there now, and I think it needs to go back in this house. Alright. So we put it back in. There's a heavy fish. But it's such a beautiful fish. And it, like that Matsuba is nearly 70 centimeters, and it dwarfs that. And like Kohaku as well. That was another one that I got from him. So this is the same person that my man Dave, shout out to Dave. I got the heater from him, and he gave me the Tempest, and I bought 3 fish from him. I was lucky that he's having a pond closure because he's moving house. So, and he was local to me, wasn't far. And he watched his video, and like we became mates. Still are. Yeah. And he hooked me up nicely. Like this fish, the reason why we only got the Chagoi was because I was there with my brother, and we went up to the pond. I had no intention of buying any fish just because we were getting close to the end of season, so I didn't want to buy anything. But we went up close to the pond. This Chagoi came straight up to him, and like it hand fed from him straight away. Like within 10 minutes that we were there. Such a tame fish. It does it now and then here. But I think it's not as confident anymore. I think it's gonna, maybe in the summer when we'll have to sit here and start doing it again. But that's the only reason why we got it. He fell in love with the fish. So it's his fish really. He bought it. I'm just looking after it. But it is a nice fish. And I think now it's where I have to get rid of a couple of fish. Like that. I think that Goshiki. That one. Goshiki? Yeah, that one. I'm gonna sell one of those little young bookies. They're on sale. And I don't know what else, because everything else is quite nice. Goldfish. I ain't got the heart to get rid of these 5 goldfish. They're like my little soldiers. And they got the fancy tails, are so cool. But only, like, if you want to keep all the fish, then you just gotta make the pond bigger, innit? So next season, hopefully, let's see what happens. Finances. And they keep knocking that airstone. I put a cable tie on, they sanded it all down, everything got it all correct. Then it lasted, and then it's come off yesterday. That one looks like it's about to come off as well. These are sinking airlines as well, so I'm gonna have to get back in the pond again one time. But these are the fish at the moment. I don't know if it's showing on camera, that clarity of water, like it has improved so much. You still get some of the stuff which is floating in there, but I think it's down to like weather, because I've seen it myself, like when it wasn't as windy and how clear the water was, it was like it was glass. I think maybe if the pond is covered fully, you get different, totally different environment. But now look at the leaves, like everything's just ready to come off. It just drops straight in the pond like that, and it floats there. No, but look at the chag. I know Lau's gonna love that chag. It is a beast. So I think I've built up an alright collection. Still a couple that I want that I haven't found yet. And I think as I've progressed in the hobby, my choice of fish has maybe like I've got a bit more pickier. Just maybe because the amount of research that I've done into the fish and what to maybe look for. Because I see everyone's got the red and the whites. Everyone's got the kahakus. So I'm not too much of a fan of the kahakus, even though I've got 3 in here now. That one I liked, the little one. Even that had a bit of damage. Might still have, might need to take it out again, just give it a scrape. All of these 3 fish I bought from him, they were all quarantined, so I picked them up at separate times. Quarantined it, put it in the pond. Got the next one, quarantined it, put it in the pond. But that one, that little kahaku, yeah, it has got something. I scraped them all, they were clean then. I don't know, maybe something's coming, and there's one of them shimmies coming in. Yeah, it looks like it's got something coming in. I'll check that out tonight, hopefully. All the rest seem alright. It's just that big one has got a couple of scars from where it was jumping up and down when there was no water. I have got a video of that. I'll put it in. But if you don't want to see it, maybe fast forward about a minute. I was just seeing the time. I think it changed. I need to leave for work. We'll do the water testing when I come back, hopefully. Alright, let's go earn some pennies. Bye-bye, fish.